May 12th public input hearing of the Hampton City School Board. Ms. Bowers, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Safanja?
Here.
Ms. Banks-Gray? Here. Ms. Cherry?
Here.
Dr. Mason?
Here.
Mr. Samuels?
Present.
Dr. Woodhouse?
Here.
Mr. Kilgore?
Here. Let the record show that all board members are present. And now if I could ask everyone to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I will now entertain a motion to adopt the agenda for this evening.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Ms. Cherry and a second from Mr. Samuels. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Bowers, would you please call for the vote?
Ms. Safanja?
Aye.
Ms. Banks-Gray?
Aye.
Ms. Cherry?
Aye.
Dr. Mason?
Aye.
Mr. Samuels?
Aye.
Dr. Woodhouse?
Aye.
Mr. Kilgore?
Aye, motion carries. This evening, we're here to receive input from the public regarding the proposed names for the following schools. New names for the following schools: Booker Elementary, Cary Elementary, Spratley Gifted Center, Tucker Capps Fundamental Elementary, and Tyler Elementary. The proposed names are Mary T. Christian, Mary W. Jackson, Catherine Johnson, Ann H. Kilgore, Albert W. Patrick III, and Mary S. Peak. Tonight, speakers will be invited up to the boom mics here. There is an X on the floor where you can just stand on the X. We are giving speakers 2 minutes apiece to speak. And I will call the names in the order I receive them. Our first speaker is Veronica Parker.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, first of all, I'm excited and compelled, I feel, to be here tonight to speak about the renaming of the schools that we have here in Hampton. And I would like to take this opportunity just to simply share my thoughts on naming one of the schools for the late Albert Woodfin Patrick III, better known as Pat to everyone. And as we all know, Mr. Patrick was a lifelong Hamptonian. He always was doing something here in Hampton to make sure that Hampton was a better place. He went to elementary school at Armstrong, he also went to Thorpe, and then he graduated from Hampton High. So the roots and different things run really deep here in Hampton. He went on to the University of Virginia, as you see that's in there, to graduate and get his law degree. And upon getting that law degree, he had a private practice here in Hampton until he was elected to the Hampton board. And once he was elected here, I mean, just his demeanor and here in the community just brought everybody together, just the way that he operated and the way that he treated everybody that came into his courtroom. Didn't matter who you are or what was before you, but he was just that way to make sure everybody felt welcome. There was no respect of person at any point. He always just loved the city of Hampton, and he wanted it to be a better place. We all know that his accomplishments run long and deep here in Hampton. All of the accomplishments that he made, refereeing, he was on the state championship from Hampton High, and after even doing that, he refereed for 20 years, still working with people and working with everybody, mentoring a lot of people in Hampton. Me, myself, even coming from North Carolina, and upon meeting him, is that my time? Okay, but let's just have a school named for Hampton for Pat Patrick, because he did do outstanding service here in the city of Hampton. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Parker. Yeah. I will invite speakers, if they would like to take their mask off when they speak, they're welcome to. Our next speaker is Ashby Kilgore.
Good evening, school board members and Dr. Smith. It's quite an honor to be here tonight. My name is Ashby Kilgore, and I'm here on behalf of my sister Betsy and I to express our family's gratitude to this board for considering naming a school for our mom, Ann Kilgore. When I'm here tonight, I think, wow, how would Mama feel? And she would feel so honored that you would think that she deserves this honor. She would be very honored by you all wanting to name a school for her. She loved this city more than anything, and she knew that excellent schools are the only way that we open doors for all the kids in the city of Hampton. She would also tonight, I think, she would be inspired by your mission of naming schools for citizens that we can admire. I know this because I went back and looked in Mama's stuff, and I found a part of a speech that she made in 1970 paying tribute to your work and to your actions tonight. She said in that speech in 1970, "We have a great opportunity to make our world a place of brotherhood. We've always had this chance, but we keep turning aside. I believe we can become the pioneers in this battle for brotherhood. You can plant a standard where a standard never flew. Do you care enough to give your best to build a world of caring what happens to others? Because in 1970, that's what it's going to take to make a difference." So again, thank you to this board for considering our mother as you plant a standard of brotherhood and action for brotherhood. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kilgore. Our next speaker this evening is Gayleen Knoyton.
Good evening. I'm Gayleen Knoyton, and Dr. Benita Toller was unable to come today because she's in Northern Virginia, and because of the gas incident, she was short on gas and she couldn't get any gas. But she wanted me to come and give her gratitude for her mother to even be considered to be with a school. We know that when Dr. Christian was alive, she was very modest. And, at that time, she was like, "I don't need a school named after me," but we know her legacy. And the family is very, very honored, and they're thankful for you all. And on behalf of the NAACP, I want to thank you all for stepping up and identifying these 5 schools and agreeing to rename it. So we are very appreciative of that. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Knoyton. Ms. Bowers, do we have any other citizens signed up that want to speak?
Not at this time.
Okay. I will let the public know that the board has received numerous emails on this matter. We've also received handwritten, or not handwritten, but hard copies from students at various schools. So there's been a lot more public input than we just hear here tonight on this matter. So we appreciate all of that. The consensus of this board is that we will add this to our May 19th agenda for, is May 19th the right date? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, May 19th agenda, where we will align the names with the buildings, and we will take a vote on that so that that can be publicly announced on May 20th. So we are moving forward with this. Definitely appreciate people coming out this evening and appreciate your public input on this matter. Do I have any comments from board members before we adjourn? Yes, Ms. Banks-Gray.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to echo your sentiments. I would like to thank our community for their active input in the renaming process. It's always great to hear ideas and thoughts of our community that we serve. So I thank you all for playing an active role in this renaming process.
Thank you, Ms. Banks-Gray. Any other comments? Yes, Ms. Cherry.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'd just like to also thank this board and administration for doing what I think can just basically be termed doing the right thing. I do want to thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cherry. Yes, Mr. Samuels.
Chairman Kilgore, just want to also say something about the climate and culture of 2021. It is the right time as we move forward when we talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and standing up and adhering to what our policy states, that schools, elementary schools, should be named after individuals who have made contribution for humankind, not one kind, not black, not white, not Hispanic, or whatever, who have made contribution to humankind. And the slate of candidates that we have, the 5 candidates that we have, demonstrate what our policy clearly states. And I am honored to be a part of this board, and I'm humbled to be a part of this board to make that decision, that we make a decision to rename our schools after individuals such as Ms. Kilgore. And I'm going to get emotional. Dr. C, who has been a pioneer, who has been a mentor to me. And I look forward to May the 19th when this board make that decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Samuels. Dr. Mason.
Good evening, everybody, Mr. Chair. One of the things that I mentioned at the last meeting, that I had an opportunity to talk with students in regards to the names of their schools. And that was one of the things that really propelled me in my mind that this is definitely necessary, because it's not just the adults looking at what's happening in our city, it's the children. And if we're going to plan ahead and create that city of brotherhood that was spoken about earlier, we have to look at the legacy that's left behind, and we have to look at those children. And I think it's important that the public knows that a lot of the emails that we received also included emails from children that actually had time to really research who they thought that the school should be named after as well. So they have really taken a part and ownership in this as well. So I commend my colleagues on the board, the administration, for definitely taking this step, and I too am humbled to be able to be a part of this.
Thank you, Dr. Mason. Anyone else? All right. Dr. Smith, anything for the board?
We look forward to next week, and certainly, as board members have already expressed, I think I certainly speak on behalf of the school administration, that we look forward to the next step in supporting the board, and as board members have indicated, that this indeed is the right time.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Smith. Without additional comment, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.